Have you been going down the manifesting rabbit hole and hit a wall and feel overwhelmed and feel like manifesting is hard? Well, you're not alone. And I want to talk about this today. My name's Kalia, and I'm a manifestation coach and work with you to help to make your dreams come true. And yes, I do believe that dreams can come true. It just requires the right kind of focus. So, first of all, let's talk about the belief that manifestation is hard. What often happens for people when they start on a manifesting journey is that they get excited by the idea that they can create the life that they want, that they can manifest anything that they really want into their life. And yes, that is exciting because it gives us a certain feeling like we have control, like we have some control over what comes into our life. The truth is, we're always manifesting. We're manifesting our reality all the time, whether we're conscious of it or not. But when you begin down that manifesting journey, you're really beginning down a journey of becoming conscious of what you're creating. And that's the hard work, is becoming conscious, because normally we go along in default with our default programming, creating whatever we create in our lives, and we just leave it all up to chance or fate, as we might call it. And when you begin down the manifestation path, you start to take charge of the process. And when you start to take charge of the process, it means that you have to face the addictions that you have formed to your default method, which is doing nothing. A lot of people that are in the manifestation world talk about this concept of doing nothing. And it's like, do nothing and the riches will appear. There's really no such thing as doing nothing. If you do nothing, meaning you make no change from where you are today, in a year from now, you're going to be exactly where you are now. And is that what you want? Or do you want to be miles ahead of where you are now? I've talked about this before, but it's something to think about. So, going on this journey of manifesting consciously, you do have to come up against your limited beliefs, your addictions to the way things have always been, the way that you use your time, and all kinds of issues might come up as you are starting to become conscious of what you're doing, because you get to look at your thoughts, your current thoughts and beliefs, the current way that you've been manifesting. And sometimes we don't want to look at that because it's not really pretty when we look at the things we've been saying to ourselves. And I'm still catching myself saying things that, a few minutes later, it's like, wow, just listen to what I just said. That we say things so automatically that that's where our comfort zone is going on automatic pilot, saying things automatically. But when we start down the manifestation path, doing things automatically is no longer acceptable. You have to start being mindful and catching yourself with what you're saying, knowing that your words have power, knowing that you've got to be mindful of what comes out of your mouth and also what you're thinking silently to yourself. This has power. And I think once we realize that our words have power, it can be a little exhausting to realize just how much that we are saying and doing that manifests the reality that we don't want. And the work that it requires to stay on top of it, to stay mindful, and continuing forward and continuing doing the work and continuing to be committed to doing the work. What is the work? Well, the main work that's required is being mindful. It's watching your thoughts, watching your beliefs, watching what's going on in your conscious mind. What are the seeds that you're planting in your subconscious on a daily basis? So really you're becoming a gatekeeper. You've got a new job, and it's the job of a gatekeeper where you're watching what's coming through the gate and you're saying, no, you can't, you got to turn around. This isn't acceptable. I'm not allowing this in. To where you're only allowing in those thoughts and beliefs that support your vision of your dream life, that support what you really want. So that is really where the work is. Your work is really on becoming your best self, your most empowered self, your most confident self, your most authentic self. And wouldn't you want to do that anyway? This is what we call growth. Growth is when every year we get better than we were before. And a lot of people can't say that. They can sometimes look back and go, well, my best years were back there. And they have a belief that their best years were back there. So how can it get any better? Well, it gets better because you decide it's going to get better. You hold a vision for what you really want to step into, who you really want to be. And that's a better version of yourself than you've ever been. It might mean being more fit, more trim, more healthy, more abundant, better relationships, whatever it is, whatever your ideal is. And for most people, it's all of those. They want to be in good shape. They want to be in good health. They want to have good relationships, and they want to be abundant. They want to have plenty of money coming in so that they can do what they want to do with their life. And so when you start on that path to manifesting, you're really embarking on a path to become the highest version of yourself, your most authentic self, your most true self, which involves you being your most confident self. And it can involve you becoming your most loving, kind, nurturing, caring self. As I talked about in a previous video, you might have to stretch. In fact, I'm not going to say might. You do have to stretch. You have to stretch and grow. You've got to be willing to move beyond your comfort zone, to step into the you that is your most empowered self. And since the time is going to pass anyway, and you're manifesting anyway, why would you want to give up on yourself? Because people give up on manifesting. I did. I gave up on manifesting. I gave up on being conscious of what I was manifesting because I had this idea in my head that it just doesn't work. This doesn't work. This stuff doesn't work. I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my energy. Well, no, you're not wasting your time and you're not wasting your energy. And I wouldn't even go to that place that I'm doing it wrong. I think there might be a few missing pieces, like there was for me when I gave up on myself. I had certain expectations that weren't being met in a timely manner. And because these certain expectations weren't being met in a timely manner, I just told myself, well, it's useless. It's not working. In a sense, we have to keep working towards the goal because we're passing the time anyway. And in a year from now, we're going to be a year older anyway. And don't you want to be a better version of yourself a year from now? And that means to continue staying committed to the work. You may not be perfect at it, but you really don't have to be perfect at it. I bet if you're honest with yourself, at the end of a year, you would have made a lot of positive changes. You just might not see it. You might not be observing. A lot of people, what they do is they hold on. They become very attached to the outcome of what they're manifesting. So, say they're trying to manifest a new car, for example, they become maybe very attached to this idea of getting this new car and it consumes them because a lot of the work talks about, in a sense, being consumed with it, having that thought, living as if you already have it. So, by living like you already have it, you already have that car, you might become very attached to it. And this is the tricky part is you don't want to be attached to it. You want to let go once you hold that vision of what you're asking for, that new car, for example, that you want to release it to the universe. You want to, you're planting the seed. You don't go dig up that seed once you planted it. So there's a certain amount of detachment that's required. And I think if we don't detach, it's too much like going out there and digging up that seed every day to see what's happening. And if you're going to go dig up that seed every day, there's not going to be anything happening. So the detachment is to trust that the seed is in motion, so to speak, and let it go. You might start seeing that car on the road, because that's what happens when whenever I buy a new car, I see that new car everywhere. I never saw it before, and now I see it everywhere. Well, that can happen for people that are manifesting a new car and they're in the gestation process of it, that they might start to see that car everywhere. And when you do, just say, that's my new car. Just affirm it. That's my new car. And don't be attached to when it comes. Don't be attached to how it comes. Just understand and let go that it's coming. Just know that it's coming and let go. That is one thing that we have to do, is be a lot more relaxed about it. A lot of people get into having incredible anxiety because they're thinking they need to be doing something, doing something, doing something. And you're going to manifest a lot more by being in a state of relaxation and to get yourself into a peaceful state. This allows you not only to observe your thoughts and your beliefs and the things that are going on because you're more relaxed and you can see it, like meditation. A lot of people that meditate, they just sit there and they breathe and they observe their thoughts. And they can observe their thoughts a lot easier because they are in a meditative state. So when you're in a relaxed state, it's easier to observe your thoughts because you're not so wound up and having a lot more going on in the head. When you got a ton of stuff going on in your mind, it's hard to observe the thoughts that are taking you away from what it is you want. Your work is to be relaxed about the whole process, not to bring intensity into it. You don't have a sales quota here. You might have that as a goal. I want to get this many sales this month, but try to release that to the powers that be and not feel like you have to hold on to it and carry it around with you. Manifestation is like building a new muscle. It's like forming a new habit. Once you form that habit, it becomes part of you, becomes part of your life. When you start eating healthy, for example, that it becomes common to eat healthy. It becomes natural. In fact, you migrate towards that. You're attracted to healthy food. You're repelled by junk food. A lot of people are. There's a few people that'll still be attracted to that. But I know for myself that I have no desire to eat the bad stuff. I know what's in it. It's like I don't want to poison my body. I like myself too much. I try to put just healthy, whole, organic food into my body that's going to nourish my body because I care about my body. I care about being healthy. It's automatic for me. I don't have to think about it. When I go to the grocery store, I don't wander down the aisles looking for what's good. I have a list. I know what I want. I go in, I get it, I leave. So it's very automatic. And that's how manifestation can be, but you have to break the bad habits first. And that's why we're becoming mindful of our thoughts and our beliefs. You got to get out of the habit of stinking thinking. It's what they say in the 12-step programs. It's that stinking thinking, that negative thinking, that defeatist thinking. And start thinking positive, feeling powerful, feeling empowered, knowing that you have what it takes to manifest the life that you want. Now, you might have to shift a bit. You might have to step into your confidence a little bit more. But you know what I found about confidence is I really believe that the fake it till you make it is a powerful way to build confidence. So that's acting as if. Faking it until you're making it is acting as if. So every time I've ever done anything that was a real challenge to me, I didn't feel confident, but I did it anyway. And I did it with the attitude that I, I can do this. I can do this. My confidence wasn't always strong, but I just put on that hat that this is the singer Kalia walking out on the stage. I can do it. The speaker Kalia, the writer Kalia, just stepping into these various roles that I didn't have a lot of confidence in at first, but the confidence came after I actually did the thing. That gave me a little more confidence and a little more confidence and a little more confidence. So when we do the thing, it actually builds confidence. In fact, they did a study with a group of people asking them if they had confidence before they did something big. And most of them said no, that their confidence came after they did that thing. Because once they did that thing, they became confident that they could do that thing. So it's like making your first video, maybe. If you're making your first video, you might not have confidence in yourself to do that first video. But after you do a couple videos, it's like, yeah, I didn't die. I can do this. I didn't die. I can only get better, and you start to build that muscle knowing that you can. And this is what it's like to step into your most empowered self, is to keep taking those risks, keep taking those chances, keep building those muscles, and it becomes automatic. Over time, it becomes automatic to you. You just have to stick with it. You just have to keep going and let go of the stress and the anxiety around it. It's not supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a new challenge that brings a new way of life to you. It might take some time in the beginning to build that muscle, like any muscle, but you can do it. Just stick to it. And if you'd like some support in doing that, make sure to go to the description and join my Conscious Creators course and community so that you can be a part of a group and receive and give support in integrating a manifestation practice into your life so that you're constantly focused on moving forward without the need for all that stress and which technique do I do and how do I do it? And just realize that it's more about your mindset than it is about anything else. It's more about what you're telling yourself and what you're believing about yourself. Because the subconscious gives you what you believe. I know Neville Goddard says it gives you what you are or who you are, but I realize that's a little bit of a difficult concept to swallow for a lot of people, that it's easier to see it as it's done unto you as you believe. So your beliefs are really important, and your limiting beliefs are super important. So you need to just be mindful and watch those thoughts and those beliefs. And as you start observing the beliefs that don't serve you anymore, they have to go. You have to throw them out and embrace new beliefs. And it may take time for those new beliefs to get solidified in your life. But as you start to believe, I can do it, I can do anything I set my mind to. You know that saying? My parents used to say that to me. You can do anything you set your mind to. And if you think about it, set your mind to. So where your mind is focused is what you can create in your life. You create what you focus on, so what you set your mind to. You have to set your mind to success. You set your mind to a belief in yourself. You set your mind to having that thing that you want to have. And then the pathway to that thing is revealed to you. It's really science. It's the way our mind works. We just have to have that understanding. We have to be so mindful of what we're planting in the subconscious. We have to start becoming really great gardeners, master gardeners, and really being mindful and watch what's happening on the level of thought and belief. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a deep breath and let yourself know that this is just an act of self-love. You're being kind to yourself and being hard on yourself and stressing yourself out and beating up on yourself because you don't think you did it right. That's not serving you. Going easy on yourself, but still being mindful, and maybe catch yourself with a laugh. Whenever I catch myself saying something that I know does not benefit me to say, I just laugh it off. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at what I just said. And I know I'm not catching everything, because sometimes when I catch myself with something, it's like, whoa, that just came out without even a thought. And that's the stuff that you're going to miss some of it. But as you start catching it, it becomes easier to catch and you get better at it. This is a practice that you're developing that's going to become habitual in time. You're going to become much better at it, as long as you don't give up. This isn't something that you want to give up on. It's too important. So stick with it. Join my Conscious Creators group and dedicate and devote this work to yourself so that you can become your highest version of self and become that master gardener and that master manifester, because you get that relationship with yourself right, because you become that highest version of yourself. And you gain mastery over your thoughts and your beliefs and find that your life is outpicturing your new set of thoughts and beliefs, that you're starting to see it show up in physical form. And now it's worth celebrating. So stick with yourself. Don't give up. You can do this. What do you want? Who do you want to become? You've got this. I'll see you in the next video.